Is it normal to go to the bathroom often at night? This illness is called nocturia, and although it occurs often, especially among older people, young people can also suffer from it due to specific health problems. Today in this article we want to speak about this very common nighttime disorder of going to the bathroom often at night, in order to inform you of its possible causes and to recommend, as always, that if you have any questions or problems, do not hesitate to consult with your doctor. Why do you have the urge to urinate during the night? It is not very pleasant to have to get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom and alleviate this sudden need to urinate, which suddenly interrupts our rest. Doctors tell us that this problem is very common, especially in men who are between 55 and 70 years old. This is generally due to prostatic hyperplasia, a disease where the size of the prostate grows and partially obstructs the ureter in such a way that the bladder never completely empties, which then causes the need to urinate several times until completely relieved. Now then, in the case of women, obviously the reasons have very different origins and are almost always associated with specific illnesses that, in general, are not usually very serious. Now that's a relief. In spite of this, we must be attentive to its symptoms, and especially we need to be aware that needing to get up more than 2 times during the night to go to the bathroom is not normal. Now let's see what some of the causes may be. Insomnia. It is common that people who suffer from insomnia will also generally need to go to the bathroom more often. This is not a symptom of any illness. It is simply an attempt to unwind a bit by going to the restroom and trying to relax. This is not a major problem and, as we said, it is something very characteristic in the people who have difficulty falling asleep. Hyperactive bladder. This type of pathology is very common among older women and, generally, can be associated with a variety of illnesses such as, for example, simple cystitis, type 2 diabetes, or it is even possible to suffer from a hyperactive bladder after having suffered a stroke. As we have said, it is a common occurrence in older people and at the same time derived from other illnesses. Cystitis. Suffering from cystitis is very common in younger people, especially women. There are times in which, suddenly you feel the urge to go to the bathroom frequently, and when you urinate you sometimes feel pain or note a sensation that the bladder has not completely emptied. To adequately treat cystitis, it is necessary to first know what has caused it. It could be a simple infection from some bacteria or even a kidney problem. Always consult your doctor. Certain medications. This is another factor that you should keep in mind. There are many medications that stimulate urine and that, at the same time, produce inflammation in the bladder or some other illness in the kidneys. If you are receiving some kind of treatment, never discount the side effects or other symptoms that it can produce. If you have any doubt, consult your doctor. The presence of glucose in the blood brings as a consequence an increase in urine, dehydration, sweating, and above all, noxuria. Never overlook these symptoms, and especially if you are getting up between 3 and 6 times every night and it had become a habit in your life. Do not neglect this problem. Having drunk a lot of liquid throughout the day. Without a doubt, this is something that only happens once in a while. There are days in which we drink a little more water, sodas or juices, or perhaps we have drunk a little more alcohol at some party. All of this ends up making us need to get up more often during the night to eliminate all of this liquid. It is, as we said, something that only happens once in a while and, generally, we do not suffer for more than one night. Aspects to look out for if you go to the bathroom frequently at night. It is also important that you are aware of these indicators, those which it would be good to speak with your doctor about and find out if the problem is serious or not. Take note. When did you begin to suffer from noxuria? Is it something infrequent or do you suffer with it each night? How many times each night do you get up in order to urinate? How much liquid do you normally drink before going to bed? Do your feet often swell? Do you always feel thirsty? Do you have dizzy spells during the day? These are symptoms of kidney problems or diabetes. What medications do you usually take? Did your parents also suffer from this problem? Do your brothers or sisters suffer from it? What other symptoms have you noticed recently? Back pain? Stomach pain? Does getting up to urinate interfere with your nighttime rest? Do you get up in the morning very tired? With these questions, your doctor will be able to have a better idea of your situation. Take care.